I'm already back at Fodac, and I was just here recently and I made a video on my haul that I got from here. It's called Upscale Thrift Store Haul or something like that. And I bought a silver butter dish, and one of my viewers, Kathy, said butter should not sit directly on silver, which I didn't know. And she suggested going back to the same thrift store and looking through the clear glass aisle to see if that glass insert that's supposed to be in the butter dish is actually still sitting there on the shelf. So I made it back to Fodac today to look for that clear glass insert to see if it might be there. Okay, no luck. I looked at all the clear glass and I didn't see the insert. And it is sort of a strange shape, so it's not like I could just get a perfectly rectangular butter dish and, you know, use it, because it is a very specific shape. So the glass insert wasn't there for the butter dish. And then I had that Tupperware in my cart, but then I opened it up and it smelled so strongly of that Tupperware smell that I ended up putting it back in that beer stein, because I have a shelf full of beer steins already sitting in the booth. I decided to put that back. So that may have been the only time I've ever been to a thrift store and didn't buy anything, but I just wasn't feeling it today. So I'm headed to an estate sale next, and it is being described as a time capsule. So we'll see if the prices are doable for me to be able to buy something and resell it for a profit. Yes. Oh my gosh, already. Oh boy, let's try to find a place to park. Not in front of the mailbox. I see the house. There it is. Oh my golly gee, there's a police officer here and
your destination is on the
So I did go into the estate sale, and when I pulled up, there was a DeKalb County police officer at the estate sale talking to this couple, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? So I walked up to the estate sale, and in the carport outside there was a whole wall of vintage Tupperware. There was lots of the pastels that I really like, the turquoises and the peach, and there's tons of the dark orange. It almost looked like the lady who lived in the house was like a Tupperware hostess, a Tupperware party hostess. There was so much of it. It was overwhelming, actually, the estate sale. The lines were very long to check out, and I picked up a butter dish, but it didn't have a price tag on it. It was in the basement. There were tons of t-shirts, and the estate sale company had gone to great lengths to accurately price the t-shirts. I saw a children's Star Wars t-shirt for sale for $200. I also picked up a sewing book. It was the Better Homes and Gardens How to Sew book, and it was like a 1960s book. I really love those hardback books. I have one that I've had in my antique booth forever, and it's the Better Homes and Gardens gardening book, and I have it displayed a little bit better right now for spring in hopes that it finally sells this year. But it was $8, and I could probably only expect to sell it for 12, maybe 14 tops in my booth. So I took another look at that long line at the checkout, and I just put my things down. I displayed them in an area where it made sense, but the butter dish was really pretty. It was clear glass, but butter dishes sell really well for us. I just didn't want to get to the checkout line and have them tell me it was like $15 or something for the butter dish, because then I have no way to I have no profit margin if that was the case. So, but just walking around the estate sale and just sort of listening to the people talk, I learned that he's a vintage reseller, the guy who the police officer was talking to, and with an Instagram page, and someone was upset. It may have been like the family member of the person whose house it was, because I think what happened was the people who lived in the house eventually had to go to a nursing home and had possibly passed away. So that was the reason for the sale. And it might have been the family member who was upset because he bought a t-shirt for $100 and immediately turned around and sold it on Instagram for $1,000. So I don't know if there was like an altercation that erupted or something, where he was trying to defend himself as a reseller or what happened, but the police were there, which in our county, we live in Atlanta Metro, we have so much going on that's really serious crimes. I was kind of surprised that a police officer showed up at this estate sale. But so after the estate sale, like I said, I was just kind of overwhelmed by the crowd. The musty smell in the basement kind of makes me have an allergy attack or whatever, and I ended up leaving without buying anything. So, and then as I showed you in the estate sale footage, I found a glass dish insert for a butter dish, but it wasn't the right shape for my silver butter dish that I'm searching for an insert for. So I still haven't found that. I won't be able to sell it because it's not food safe without the glass insert. So I'll just hold on to it for a while and see if I can find one. And then I went to Goodwill, my favorite Goodwill, and I looked on their shelves too, just to see. I'll always look through the clear glass now to see if I can find that insert that will fit, and I didn't see anything. But I did get a few good things at Goodwill, and so I will go inside and get them all out. I have a lot to show you. I don't know why I was thinking to myself I didn't have enough to actually be able to do a thrift haul video, because I didn't have a lot of stuff. But of course, when I unpacked it all and spread it all out on my kitchen counter, I realized how much I really do have in this haul, and I have some cool and unique stuff. So make sure you stick around to see all of it. The first thing I got is this Anchor Hocking orange juice pitcher. These are generally from the 1960s or 1970s, and it is supposed to have a plastic top on it, but these sell just fine without the tops. I paid $3.09 for this, and I will put 22 on it. It's really dirty, so I'm going to hand wash it and just really get on the inside and get all this grime out. But if you can see, the print, the oranges and the leaves do not have any wear or damage to the color. So this was a really great find for $3.09. The next item I got was this collectible Flintstone kids drinking glass. So this is little girl Betty from the Flintstones. It was a Pizza Hut collector's item, and it's from 1986. So what Pizza Hut would do was every week or two, I'm not sure how long it was before they put out a new glass, but they would put out a new glass and there would be a commercial about it or something on TV to encourage you to come back and eat at their restaurant every week until you had collected all of the glasses in the series. So I can remember going to Pizza Hut, which was a huge treat for us when I was a kid. People just didn't eat pizza like they eat pizza now. It was a special occasion. And Pizza Hut was a sit-down restaurant with a salad bar and everything. And they had video games. So I can remember those Atari machines where you actually, it was a 2-player and you sat down in a chair on either end of the game. We played Pac-Man and Centipede and all those fun games. So great memories. This was a good deal at $1.09, and I will put $10 on it. These two Corningware cups. This pattern is called Optic. It's a 1970s pattern. I really like it. I really like the retro feel. These two were together with cellophane just like this for $1.39, so roughly 70 cents a piece. It's funny because this one, this butterfly gold one, came from the same store and was priced at $1.09 just for the one. So they clearly thought, whoever was doing the pricing clearly thought that this one was more valuable than these two, and that's not really the case. This one is a lot more common. This one I'll probably put $7 on it. It was $1.09. And these two, this pattern is not as commonly seen. So these should sell for $8 a piece, and they were just 70 cents a piece. So really love this Optic pattern in Corningware. Very cool. There were also 3 butterfly gold saucers packaged together in cellophane for $1.09. So that comes to 36 cents each, and these should sell for $5 a piece. So there was 3 saucers, but only 1 cup. It might have been that there were 3 cups, but that someone came before me and bought the other 2 cups. When I saw this on the shelf, the box is in pretty poor shape, and the whole thing was all cellophane together, and this part of the box is broken. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I'm probably just gonna tape it. It's got this old masking tape holding the ends together. This is a 6-sided block puzzle, and it's heavy. The cashier at Goodwill, she picked it up and she was, oh my gosh, that's really heavy. And I was like, I know, it's really special. It is a German puzzle, it appears to be, and then it has the instructions in the description on 4 different sides and 4 different languages. So this is just really cool. At the end of this video, I'm going to take some footage of me trying to put the puzzle together. I did put this one together, and then there's other options because it's 6-sided. So here are all the options: the little girl with the horse, the 2 little kids with the bunny and the carrots, the little girl with the cats, and the little boy with a puppy and a teddy bear. So I'm going to, at the end of the video, you'll see me attempt to put another one of these pictures together. It took me a surprisingly long time to be able to do it. So this is a challenging toy, apparently for adults as well as kids. I buy and sell deviled egg dishes all the time, but I had never seen this one. This one's special. I'm seeing it being described as Federal glass or Depression glass. That came out about in the 1950s is when this one dates back to. It has a really pretty design on the bottom. It also has these larger pieces on the sides. So I guess you would put your eggs, and then in these larger pieces, they can hold things like little pickles or olives or whatever. And it's just a really nice one. It was only $3.09, and I will put $28 on it. It's nice and heavy. It is surprisingly gross and dirty. I'll probably go wash my hands after touching it, and I'm going to wash it, and then it's just easier for me to do these videos when I have the Goodwill price tag on it, because I can just quickly tell you how much I paid for it. And so when I wash it, I'm going to scrub it and get the price tag off. But it makes me wonder, like when I donate stuff to Goodwill, I don't donate dirty dishes. Just like, it makes me wonder, like, who does that? I don't know. But I'm glad they did it because I'm super glad to have found this. It's a really nice one, and it should sell really quickly in the booth. Okay, so I haven't stopped buying vintage Christmas because I love it so much. But I have to be really particular about how much I buy and what it is that I buy, because it just doesn't sell well in my antique store. I feel like if I had an Etsy shop or an eBay shop that I would probably do a lot better with my love of vintage Christmas. These are Nikko brand salt and pepper shakers. The pattern is called mistletoe, I believe. They have very nice stoppers on the bottom. It says Japan. So these are Nikko brand. There was only $1.09 for the pair. I'm seeing these online for $30, even more. I think replacements.com. Replacements.com is a little bit pricey. I think they had them for $50. Nobody's going to pay that much money for a set of salt and pepper shakers in our antique store. So I probably will only be able to put $18 to $20 on these. But wow, what a deal for $1.09. I'm starting to think that I'm missing the boat on not selling online. I did a whole video on why I ultimately decided to just put my plans to open an online store on hold and really just focus on my antique booth and focus on YouTube and sharing my business with you. But sometimes I think that I might really be missing out when I'm seeing the prices for some of this stuff online. So just a thought. I might have to revisit that decision in the future. I got a little bundle of candles. I like these I think they're 1980s. I just like this shape. And I sell a lot of votives. I sell like clear glass votives, and whenever I can find the cat one that's curled up or a bunny, they always sell well. And I just like to have a candle included. And these fit perfectly. I just like these better than those little tea lights. These are just really cool vintage candles. So when I see them, I get them. They were $1.39 for the bundle of 6. So I was really pleased with that find. This is a stoneware pot, and I'm seeing it described online as microwave stoneware pot. Now you could use this in an oven as well, but the reason why it does well in the microwave apparently is because the steam will rise out of this hole in the top. So it's got a very nice glaze on it. It's clearly food safe. This was $2.24. It has a nice handle for pouring, and I'm seeing prices for these that are, look at my notes, on the high side, but I think $20 is the most that I can expect to get for this in my antique booth. That's a really nice, interesting piece. The color might do better in fall and winter than it will right now in the spring, but we'll see how it goes. So this is a new piece. It's not vintage, and it was $3.09. I just really love strawberry patterned kitchenware. And I don't know how I missed this. I think I was blinded by my love for strawberries, but it has a terrible chip on it. And like I said, it's not vintage. I actually think it's when I peel back the sticker, this was $3.09. I think it's a mainstays piece. So it's a Walmart thing. And so because of the chip, I'm just going to keep this and use it in my cabin because my theme in that kitchen is red and white. And then whatever butter dish I'm currently using in the cabin, I'll probably put that one in the antique booth. But anyway, not a total loss. And it's a nice big wide butter dish. So one thing I like about that is that, you know, if it's such a narrow lid on it, like the butter gets all on the inside of your lid. But this one is so nice and wide that you're not going to have greasy butter all over the inside. So I really like it, and I'm just going to have to keep it for myself because of the chip. I have one wall on my antique booth where I always have to have 2 pictures displayed that are for sale, and I've been doing really well with the horticultural prints, specifically the roses. And so when I saw these at Goodwill, I was like, oh my gosh, what are those? These are also horticultural prints. Originally, this whole horticultural book was done in the year 1613. I've got to look at my notes so that I can get the name right. It was done by a person named, I guess, a horticulturalist named Basilius Besler. And these were $6.09 each. I'm seeing people online selling just a poster of these for around $30. These all have, okay, I should go ahead and tell you which ones I got. I got all 3 of them that were at the thrift store. This one is called Love Apple, and I didn't know this. Did you know that tomatoes were once called love apples? I had no idea. I had never heard that. So I have the tomato or the love apple. They all have a nice wire on them, which is exactly what I need to be able to hang them on that wall. It's a long story, but it's difficult to hang on that wall. I might have to, so that I can hang pictures more easily using my pegboard wall. That would require quite the rearrangement, but I might have to do that. And then I got the asparagus. The frames are a little beat up in some of the places, but honestly, since the prints are selling without being framed for really good prices, I'm going to keep these nice frames because even though they're a little bit beat up, they do have the nice wire on the back. And then this one is the artichoke. They were $6.09 each, and I will price each one at $28 with the frame. So I still think that's a pretty good deal considering how much the posters alone are selling for online. And this is the piece that was in the thumbnail. This really special piece. Look at the beautiful painting on it and the glaze. It is a Bulgarian clay pot for cooking. It also has a hole in the top for the steam to escape. I'm seeing these online for really good prices. I think I can probably only expect to get $26 for this in the booth, but it was only $2.09. I think it is just lovely and very unique, and I thought it was a great find. I just had never seen a Bulgarian clay pot with such beautiful details and such a lovely shiny glaze on it. And the final thing I got in this haul was just a nice big mason jar with a hinged lid. I think this is new, especially when you look at how nice the rubber seal is. This is new. I'm going to keep this for myself. I did a whole series where I refinished an antique buffet that I bought at Goodwill and I painted it. And I actually did a whole video where I decorated the top of it. And I put my butterfly kitchen canisters on the top of my buffet in my dining room. So basically, I have my kitchen canisters in my dining room because I don't really have room for them on my kitchen counter anyway. So I had to find another alternative to store my coffee because right now this one is full of coffee. So that's why I bought this. And I always smell the inside of these because sometimes, especially the old ones, the smell is just, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I could put that in the dishwasher 10 times through and the smell wouldn't come out. But this one doesn't smell bad, so I'm just going to run it through the dishwasher. Now, you don't want to put these in the dishwasher because the heated drying mechanism will crack these and ruin them. But I'll just wash this by hand and put this in the dishwasher, and then I will move my coffee to this so that I don't really need to be storing my coffee in my dining room. But the purpose of those canisters is merely decorative at this point. That's about all that I have for today. Make sure you stick around if you're interested in seeing whether or not I can figure out how to put together this beautiful vintage wooden block puzzle. I put together one of the pictures, but I do want to try to put together at least one more of the pictures. I do have quite a bit of information to share with you about my March sales. So the first 2 weeks of March were terrible. My check was only $69 for 2 weeks, but the second 2 weeks of March were really good, and my check was $460 for a 2-week period. Considering I'm only selling smalls and I'm not dealing in furniture, I think that's pretty good. That was my dream, to be able to make it financially in the antique booth on smalls and not have to sell a piece of furniture every month just to make it, because that I'm getting older, and let me tell you, constantly refinishing furniture, it's a lot of work. That will be my next video, is to share with you, probably will do my 5 best sales and my 5 worst sales for March. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your support of my channel so very much, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.